a sandwich. If I called a hot dog a sandwich, do you think that you would be fine with it? If not, then why? Let's bust this wide. Mary, Cari, Kelly, oh my, is it a sandwich? Well, let's decide.
Welcome, I'm your Patty Pal Matt, and we're ready. Order up.
Oh my.
Do we have a tally so far of what Matt's titles have been on this podcast?
Patty Pal.
Smash Mouth is my favorite.
I love the titles that Matt's given himself. These are just amazing. We are at episode 4 in our quest on Order Up for these 6 episodes at least to try to figure out if a hamburger is a sandwich. So far, friends at home, if you're making notes, we've got 2 no's, we've got 3 maybes, and 2 yeses. So that's where things are so far. Mm-hmm. Did I introduce myself? I can't even remember. I'm Kelly Zemeckis, everybody. It's been a week. It's been a week. I got my credit card stolen. Someone compromised my credit card at a Waffle House, friends. It was so embarrassing that the card got compromised or that it was at a Waffle House.
Oh no.
$1,000.
In waffles?
How many waffles is that? Mary?
That is a problem. That needs an intervention. Really? I could do so much. I could actually buy a waffle machine and make my own waffles and not have to tip anybody for that amount of money. I don't understand.
They must have had all of the fanciest toppings.
Well, that or someone catered a wedding.
I want to go to that wedding. I want to go to the waffle wedding. Don't you?
Yeah.
I would go to a Waffle House wedding.
You go to a waffle wedding. You could even bring your own syrup, like in your fancy purse.
Yes.
You know? If you needed your own
syrup.
Canadian syrup.
Maple syrup.
There we go.
Oh my gosh.
Is that what you guys do in Canada, is bring your own syrup?
Yeah.
And we all have a tree. We make our own syrup. We distill it down. Bring it to all of the parties.
Oh my gosh. As usual, of course, we are joined on the podcast by my lovely co-hosts, Cari, Mary, Matt. Mary, anything fun happened to you this week?
Well, I had a burger moment last night. A burger moment. So I did a gig. I did a really great gig, and I don't eat before a set, so I wanted something afterwards. And sliders are on sort of a kind of beer menu, and I was like excited for a burger moment because I knew I was doing the podcast today, and I got the burgers, and I thought, you know what? I realize it's on a bar menu, but there should be a potato product alongside these sliders, but there was no potato product. It was just 2 lone sliders by themselves in a biodegradable cardboard box at this bar because everybody's trying to be woke, which I appreciate, but it felt like, hurry up and get out of here. I couldn't even relax with the burgers. However, and I was disappointed because it was too small for me. Like I wanted a little bit more. It was only 2 sliders. And then I was getting kind of angry, and I said, I don't know about this. This is not good. And then I took a bite into one of the sliders, and it was delicious.
Oh,
it
good.
was a lovely caramelized topping with a light cheddar cheese with a deliciously cooked slider, smaller hamburger, smaller bun. And there was only 2, but here's my complaint. If you're going to have a slider, make sure that the burger fits the bun equally on each side, because by the time I got to the end of it, all it was arugula, onions, and a little bit of topping sauce. And I was left without a protein. So no potato, no protein at the end. We got to end strong, everybody. So that's my slider note. So maybe our next show is a sandwich. And I again say no. It is not a snack.
This is quite a devastating story, Mary. You're trying to file a claim or protest against the bar? Like, what's happening? Is there going to be
No, because it was so good. Like, I was so cranky about it. And so the fact that they landed the plane, the meat was delicious. Right. And then maybe it was God saying, you know what, Mary, as an Irish person, you've had enough potato to last you for the rest of your life. Now for tonight, you can take a break. Oh, that's my burger moment.
I'm very glad that I think lends into whatever factoid Matt has for us for this episode.
It's true.
Today,
that's almost like a segue. That was perfect. So, okay. Prior to 1916, the burger was being served on this like plain white bread, sometimes maybe a Kaiser bun or a big potato roll, but do you know who invented the actual hamburger bun? It was a gentleman named Walter Anderson from Wichita, Kansas. He created what we call the hamburger bun because the buns that you could get were too big for the patties. So you just get that perfect coverage. But do you know what else Walter created? Anybody? No? Okay, so Walter... Yeah, he bought a little trolley car, turned it into a diner, and then he paired up with his friend Edgar Waldo Billy Ingram, and they transformed that into White Castle, the very first burger chain, and in fact the longest running burger chain in history.
Wow!
As of this past April, they have served 22 billion burgers.
Whoa!
22 billion. That's not including the burgers they've sold in restaurants. There's in grocery stores. If you fold those grocery stores burgers in, that's another 6 billion burgers on top of that. So 28 billion burgers have White Castle branding.
That's crazy.
I don't know why. I think they're gross. I had them in New York. It was like just soggy onion burger soup. But hey, the American public have spoken. Harold and Kumar speak for the people.
A lot of good Torontonians in that movie, by the way. The first White Castle movie. There's many a friend I have in that movie. Oh man. Well, just going back to what Mary was saying for a quick second, the two lonely sliders, I think sounds like a song personally, which lends in so great to our guest today. Cari, who is our guest today?
I'm going to tell you. Now I want to write a song called Two Lonely Sliders. I don't know. So our guest today probably can write a song like that. She is Ontario born. Like me. She's a multi-talented artist in a variety of media. She's a visual artist. She's a photographer, but she is likely best known as a musician. She grew up singing in choirs. I did too, so yay. And she plays both the piano and guitar. She's a songwriter. She has a large repertoire of originals and covers in the folk and blues varieties. Everybody please welcome Cheryl Beatty.
Yay! How's it going?
Good, excellent. I just got in from a karate class, so my face might be a little bit red. That's the Scottish in me. But, I feel pretty good.
What belt are you?
That's a funny story, actually. I trained many years ago in a different style, and I actually got to my Shodan, which is first degree black belt. And now I'm training in a new style, and I'm starting from scratch again. So I'm now a white belt again. But I got my first stripe the other day. So,
congratulations! That's very cool. That's awesome.
I love that. It's good to see you again. For the folks who know or may not know that I've got a baking show on YouTube called It'll Be Fine. Cheryl's lovely vocals start and close that show. So. I get to hear you a couple times a week, which is cool.
And it's an earworm, that song. Once you go and watch Kelly's baking show on YouTube, which I highly recommend, and you listen to Cheryl's theme song, you will be singing that song for the rest of the day.
Awesome.
It's really
that's what I like to hear.
It's a sticky tune. I love it.
That's excellent.
So Cheryl, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
And Oh, it's so fun. And here on Order Up, we love to talk about food, and we have some questions for you.
Okay.
So our first question is, what is a meal that instantly takes you back to childhood?
That would have to be homemade ravioli. Okay, so give you some background here. My mom was a horrible cook. She's not very good cook at all. But my dad, he was a carpenter and he worked with a lot of tradespeople, and he worked with this mason, brick worker who was from Italy, and his name was Mr. Benedetti. And the Benedettis would have us over for dinner, and Mrs. Benedetti would make this amazing homemade ravioli, and they would even convince my parents to let us have a little bit of wine mixed with apple juice. But, yeah, just like ravioli does it for me. It takes me right back to childhood.
Oh my God, that sounds so good. Like authentic Italian, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, our next question is, what is your favorite late night snack?
Honestly, I'm not a huge snacker like late at night, but if I'm feeling a little bit peckish, I might have like a small bowl of cereal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay. That's always mine too. I love, what kind of cereal? Like, do you have a favorite?
I usually I go with like the blandest cereals ever. Like I usually have like Chex or like Rice Krispies or something.
Rice Krispies. You can't go wrong with a Rice Krispies.
Yeah.
They snap and crackle and pop.
Exactly.
And they're delicious. So there you go.
Do you have fruit in the cereal though? Do you add like any fruit?
No, it's just straight up cereal and milk. It's just to get my belly full enough so that I don't wake up in the middle of the night starving.
I'm with Cheryl on that. I'm a cereal night person as well. All right, here's our next question. What is the worst meal to eat on a date?
Anything that has fish and garlic in it. Because I've been on this date where, you go out to a nice restaurant and the guy ordered like lobster or something. I can't even remember. But it was very fishy and very garlicky. And then, of course, the date was going well and we wanted to kiss. And I kissed him, but it wasn't the most enjoyable kiss because, I'm all about all of the senses, smell, touch, taste, whatever. And it wasn't, it kind of tasted like kissing a dumpster, or what I would assume a dumpster is. Yeah, fish and garlic.
Can you imagine that? Gotta imagine that wedding speech. Remember our first date and it was like a dumpster. And yeah, you gotta think ahead when you're on the first date, right? You gotta think like, if this goes poorly, who cares? But it might go well.
Yeah.
And you gotta think ahead. So I think that's a pretty reliable answer.
I usually go for salads because it's the most bland thing, But
then aren't you hungry after?
Yeah, I will go home and shove food in my face afterwards, but at least I'll be fine during the day.
Where did Cheryl go? She's in the pantry.
Yeah. She's stocking up.
Yeah.
What was the best burger you ever ate and where did you have it?
See, that's a hard question. I'm not really much of a burger person. I'll eat them occasionally, but I can't think of any particular one that stands out in my mind. I always like the homemade burgers though. Like the ones from home where you've got some oats and stuff mixed into it, and it's more like a sphere than it is a flat patty. But you can put anything you want on it, and my parents would usually have cut up like tomatoes and onions and all of the stuff, ketchup, mustard, relish, everything. No pickles though, usually, but I loved pickles. Yeah, like the homemade ones, I guess, would stand out the most because those were the ones that I ate the most.
Were they barbecued?
Yes, barbecued.
Oh,
Not
barbecue's very important.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a very hot topic, and the reason for our podcast, we asked this question of everybody, and we need you to take this very, very seriously because this has been the thought on our minds for many a month. This is it. Is a hamburger a sandwich?
Yeah, I'd have to say yes. Just because, I mean, it's two pieces of bread-like substance usually, with meat and toppings, and it kind of equates to the same thing as a sandwich. Sandwiches usually have meat, cheese, lettuce, tomato. All of the things that a hamburger has. So yeah, I would say yes.
I'm giggling right now because I see our co-host Mary shaking her head back and forth. So Mary, what is the problem with Cheryl's answer?
First of all, I have to say, and I love Cheryl. I don't know you, Cheryl, and you're Canadian, so I can't hate you. Like I don't think anyone goes to the world going, I hate Canadians. That never happens. But first of all, I was suspicious of the oats in the burgers. Like that made me really concerned. As I said, now maybe it's a Canadian thing, much like carrying your syrup with you wherever you go. I don't know, but I was concerned about the oats. So I shut off a little bit. I'm going to be honest. And then I was like, well, I'm out. Even if she does agree with me, I'm out. But then when you said that it was a sandwich, it wasn't convincing to me. Like, I'm sorry. It's not. It's a hearty dinner item. And last night was almost not a dinner item, so I might have been able to meet you on the sandwich because I wouldn't have ordered 2 lonely sliders for dinner, but I had no choice. But so I disagree. Sorry. But I think you're cute and you're adorable, and please don't kill me because you're a black belt in karate.
I would argue, though, that I think you even said it's not really a full meal without the extra carby potatoes or whatever as well. So I would say, like, if you ate a sandwich and you also had a side of potatoes or whatever other sides you would get with hamburgers in a restaurant, like French fries, I would say that would be a full meal, too.
No, because I do not have a sandwich at dinner. That is a big rule of me. No, it has to be a cold day in hell before I have a sandwich.
For Mary, it's a time of day issue. She feels like the hamburger is like a dinner food. I don't think she would order one for lunch. It's not a lunch thing, and a sandwich is a lunch thing, and it's all about a time of day. Although now that you're talking about, Cheryl, this things on the side, like I'm wondering if our question shouldn't be more, is a hamburger a meal? Like, is a hamburger a meal without that? But I don't want to muddy the waters here of order up. So what do you think, Cal?
You got me thinking now. Is a hamburger a meal?
I think if you have to eat 2 of them to make it a full meal, then it's not a meal in itself. Yeah,
I'm going with Cheryl on that one.
Yeah. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I think if you're dependent on your side dishes, you don't count as a meal. You can't, like, lasagna is a meal because lasagna, you can have lasagna and you're good. You're good. Right. Like a tort, like a meat pie kind of thing. Big slice of meat pie, you're good. But a burger, like a slider at least on its own, that you're hungry afterwards. You need more food.
It's a snack.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that does throw some interesting nuance into this. Like, okay, is a burger, is it a meal because of the French fries and like the pickle on the side, or is it a meal? That does sort of like recontextualize it a bit.
Huh.
But I will have French fries with a sandwich. So French fries are not only a dinner item; they can come in lunch sometimes. It's very not for breakfast. Never ever. No.
Hang on. Hash browns? Can you do hash browns?
Hash browns are fine because they're shredded and they come next to the egg. But if I came upon a meal that had steak fries along the eggs, that is not okay.
So you're saying that a potato in stick form is only for lunch and dinner, but a potato that's been shredded is okay for the morning time. So I think you're being very sizist with these potatoes. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and also like a full English breakfast. I mean, I think that would cause you a lot of trouble as well, because you get like fries and you get beans and eggs and or chips, I should say. If I'm talking about English stuff, it's chips. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I don't think that's gonna. God forbid I go to Ireland and I have an Irish breakfast. This could be a bad moment, but yeah, no, But no, I disagree. I disagree.
Okay.
I can't even do it with a straight face anymore. All right, I'm good.
Well, Cheryl, you've really, you've really riled Mary up. So thank you for that.
I wasn't meaning to be a contrarian. Just,
So Cheryl, I'm always curious about like either comedians or performers. What is your like food ritual, either pre-show or is it afterwards? You just go like, I have to eat all the things. Like
I have to eat something like no later than 2 hours before I go on stage. If I eat anything after that, then my diaphragm is all like blocked by the food. So I usually eat like something small about 2 hours before I go on stage, and then if the kitchen is still open wherever I'm performing, I'll get something afterward, or I'll go home and raid the pantry. Kind of like a date, really.
Well, you are in love with music, so there you go. That's your date.
True. That's true. Good point.
So where can folks find you, Cheryl? Do you have any shows coming up? Are you touring now that the world's a lot more open, or what's happening?
No, I mean, man, COVID just kind of flipped things for me. Like I haven't really gotten back into performing yet. I did one show. I did a blues festival in the summertime in Kincardine, but that's really all I've done. I've been slow to get back into it. And I think it's the introvert in me, like being in lockdown and, dealing with all the COVID stuff. It kind of exacerbated that in me. So it made me kind of withdraw a little bit more. I really do have to push myself to get some shows going.
Indeed. And everyone listening, you've got to check Cheryl out live. I mean, definitely download all the things on Spotify, watch It'll Be Fine, get the earworm in your brain, but check her out live because she's so good. Just so good. And I can't wait to see you in person.
Yeah.
Again.
To see you in person again.
Hopefully that won't be too long coming. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Giving your hot take on the burger sandwich question. So with Cheryl's yes, let me just, where did I put my Post-it? I think just lost my Post-it. But I think now maybe and yes is tied for the lead. Ooh. Am I right, Matt?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Nice.
Really? Wait. We're tied?
Maybe and yes is tied, maybe, but the no's are losing.
Oh, I'm losing. Oh, no, that's not good. Oh my God.
I think I ate my Post-it.
When we started back in episode 1, I was also a pretty much no. But I'm pretty sure. But when I'm really going towards the fence again, like the more I hear about the yes people and they explain it so succinctly, and I know Mary's got her whole time of day issue and everything, but I don't know. I'm not there yet, but I'm maybe climbing the fence. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Mary, I don't think will be. I don't think that'll.
No, I think it's a matter of principle now for her.
Maybe it's a Canadian thing that we're just like so. Well, everybody can choose their own path, their own path for their burger.
Awesome.
We'll have to see.
That wraps up today's episode of It'll Be Fine. That is number 4 in the can.
It'll be fine.
Oh,
you said show. This is Order Up.
Show.
You have so many things, Kelly.
We're recording this first thing in the morning, everybody listening at home. I don't know what show we're on.
It'll be fine.
You may end it.
I don't know. Okay, the first, come sit down. I'm asking everyone the same question. The first question is, tell me your name and how old you are.
I am Jack. I am 9 years old.
Jack, is a hamburger a sandwich?
Yes.
Can you explain?
Well, a sandwich is bread, meat, bread. A hamburger is bread, meat, bread. Well, it's not always meat. Just like, it could be some other stuff, but a hamburger is always meat, but
So a hamburger is always meat, but a sandwich isn't always meat.
Yes. Well, a sandwich is bread, stuff, bread.
Okay.
And that's what a hamburger is.
What do you say to the people who say, for example, like sandwich bread is usually square, but a hamburger bun is round, and that's the problem?
I don't care.
You don't care the shape?
No.
Doesn't matter. What about a hot dog?
A hot dog is not a sandwich.
But you just said bread, stuffed bread, and that's a hot dog.
No. A hot dog is bread stuffed. No more bread. And also, even though I didn't care about the shape, that is like I don't know, it's confusing. It's just not a sandwich.
Okay. You seem very clear on this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Order Up is hosted and produced by Matt Ardill,
Mary Kennedy,
Larry Hain,
Kelly Zenekas.
And original music is by Rebecca McDonald.